808080 Big Brother got it. The movie we watched today, Quentin's classic 5-foot house again. The bastard story is divided into 5 chapters, 3 clues, 4 pairs of people from different directions. It focuses on a cinema in Paris, France, during World War II, with a negative payoff. There were assassinations and spy waves. There's something to be deserved. The film ranges from vivid photography to complex stories, from personalized characters to witty dialogue, everything but timing. 1941 during World War II, the German army occupied central France. Mass murder of Judah. The tyrant's tyrannical action thus began. Where there is oppression, there is resistance. A team exclusively made by Judah, a guerrilla group of 8 was born. Each of them has a unique skill. The treatment of the Germans was, of course, brutal. The action is even more elusive. The Germans call it the asshole squad. Ryan, the captain, is of Indian descent. He is also a fearless ground. He's inventive. Figured out a way to get back at the Germans. It means scalping the Germans. And it worked very well. This gave the German Nazis fear and nightmares. When this motherfucker gets famous, it finally reached the one Solri, and it makes him so angry. This day, one of the POWs was released by the asshole squad. He found Nazi marks carved into the skulls of the prisoners. Lei Ying made this specially for the Führer. It means that the thoughts of sin are too deep to erase. To catch this bastard, Scoundrel. Together, they specially sent the SS best colonel, Hans, this man, who appears to be an elegant gentleman, but he was a man with a murderous face. That's why we got a guy nicknamed Jewish Hunter. After receiving the order, he immediately ran to the farm. Show the attitude of courtesy before you fight. When you see the farmer, you pretend to be elegant. I saw my 3 daughters scared. Also repeatedly praised their beauty. The farmer asked his daughter to pour the wine for Hans, but he only ordered a glass of milk, then a sacrifice of the milk that was poured out to him. Then Hans asked the 3 girls out to speak to the farmer alone. Get into the conversation. I have to say, he's pretty good at psychological warfare. Let this one just want to live, but very kind owner a little broken house. A Jewish family hiding under the floor. Hans could have found it. Then the crafty Hans switched to English. The purpose is to make the Jews under the floorboards unintelligible. Hans's sullen face and captivating eyes let the farmer leave without shouting. And then he played the emotional card with the bait of keeping the owner's family alive. Shake the last line of defense inside him. Just a few minutes. The farmer pointed to the floor and cried tears of despair. Then Hans changed the pronunciation, which the Jews did not understand. The SS was called in. He pointed to the spot where the Jew was hidden. With a relentless volley of bullets, the floor became riddled with holes. The Jewish parents fainted on the spot, and Suzanne was lucky enough to escape the machine gun, ran out of the basement vent. Hans found him, too, so to Sunana's back. Slowly raised the pistol, but surprisingly Hans didn't pull the trigger. Just shouting his name behind his back. A few years later, World War II took a turn for the worse. The Germans had become the last straw. This day, asshole team got a secret mission called Operation Cinema. It turns out that German Nazi Peachwood is going to have a premiere. The film is called National Glory. The Führer himself will be there, because the United States and Britain were already allied. The Brits also described the premiere of the word to plant explosives in a movie theater to kill a Nazi. The net ended World War II ahead of schedule, so they sent a female spy who spoke German. Li Shang joins up with Ryan's asshole team. Lisa had an unfortunate encounter. A German officer who came here to drink, so he decided to play cards with the Germans. Ryan won't be pleased. He can only send 3 men in. I was doing it outside the bar. 3 attendants dressed in Nazi uniforms infiltrated the bar by the Germans as a high-ranking officer. But we talked for a while. The German soldiers noticed the accent was wrong, and he made a gesture with the number 3. I don't want to reveal that I'm not German. In the face of German suspicion, follow a lamb for a lamb, took out the entire officer on the spot. A fierce gun battle ensued. The Alliance sent its own men to help, only to save the injured Li Shang, but the others were all killed. Lenovo abandoned the mission, but Lisa tried to convince him. In this premiere, not only were there many German officers, the Führer will be on the scene. If I could assassinate him, will play a major role in the war effort. Ren finally acquiesced, so Lisa wore a cast to cover up her injury, ready to capitalize on his stardom. Take Ryan's team to the hybrid. Meanwhile, Hans rushed to the bar to check it out, found Lisa's heels from the retreat, and an autograph for the soldier's son. Ha 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 ha. Ha. Then he took Lisa to his office alone. Help him take off his shoes. Just when everyone thought there was something undescribable, when, happened, Hans was seen holding high heels from the bar. Help Lisa put it on. Found it fit. Instantly Hans knew he was a bitch. Then he jumped up and choked Lisa to death. Death saves 1,000 labors. Lisa's followers were not spared, of course. He was captured by German soldiers. Do you know? Hitler, long before the end of World War II, it's already in a movie theater in France, got shot by the Jews. On the other side, after Suzanne fled to Paris, A beautiful, beautiful woman, and took over my aunt's movie theater here. A young German soldier was passing by. Fell in love with her at first sight and launched a fierce pursuit, but the girl never got her revenge. Will you accept the love of your enemies? The soldier's name is Didi, the best sniper in Germany. He killed 350 men in Poland in 3 days, to boost morale. Hitler made a movie out of him. Then Derd gave Susanna the movie, to get the premiere. Smalda for gallantry will tell Susan about the matter. I hear a lot of Nazi officers are coming to watch. Suzanne was happy to speak English, because it's in his heart right now. There's already a big plan for revenge. He wants to PN all the film on the opening day, burn these German officers in the cinema. At the same time, after Ryan was arrested, look like, the old fox knows that great things are gone in Germany. I talked to Ryan. Offered to betray the Germans. And help them kill all the Nazis. But later asked the Allies for political asylum. This is pure treason. Ren has a grudge. But compromises had to be made in order for the plan to work. Thereupon, Ren helped Hans get the Allied commander on the phone. Hans says he can use the stem of his plant, bringing explosives into a movie theater. Here Susanna is playing the film during the screening. Shouta chased after again, trying to do the unspeakable with him. Susanna motioned for him to close the door, and Suzanne took advantage of D's closing. Shoot D multiple times. Look at Smalda Payne, crouched on the ground. Susanna suddenly felt pity for D. Get ready to check on his injuries. But the Smalda who was shot several times did not die immediately. He turned around and shot Suzanne, too. Blood sprang out like scattered flowers. They both died. After Susan went to heaven, her black boyfriend, Marseille, made the appointment, using a cigarette-lit film to lock down the gate. 360 boxes of nitrate film are pleasant. Instantly the cinema was in flames. Nazi officers can't escape. Surrounded by raging fires, Ryan and his team rush out. Hitler was killed in a hail of gunfire, and then escaped the cinema, watching all the Nazis go up in smoke. Eventually Ren escorted Hans to the American base. Hans surrendered his guns as agreed, but then Ryan shot and killed his husband. Despite the previous political anxiety, Lin can't kill Hans, but on his forehead, carved that deep mark. It represents a crime he'll never be able to erase.